Moran Weeks was open. They couldn't find him.
Lee's going to come and set the screen so Dudemain can get a low shot and the game winner! And they're headed back to Mimico. They did indeed head back to Mimico, as we did as well. Matthew Carrick, Jonathan Donville, and JVI Sports Network, as we get set for game number 4 of the Ontario Junior Lacrosse League Finals here on the Ontario Junior Lacrosse League YouTube channel. Fantastic game, which Jeff Ivey told me give Mimico not just a one-game win in the series, but confidence perhaps headed back here at home, Donnie.
Yeah, absolutely. It goes without saying, a 2-1 series, the game 4 is just massive, right? 3-1 going back to Tony Rhodes is a totally different feel than 2-2, and we have a fresh series. I was thinking, Maddie, this series kind of has that special feeling about it, right? When I think about the great series I watched as a kid, even last year, Orangeville, Burlington, a lot of the ones I watched as a kid, the one in here, this building, Brampton, and Mimico, what made all those legendary? They went the distance, right? This game is going to have a big outcome on, kind of where this series will stack up in history.
Justin Tavares, Elijah Edwards, a little bit between each other off the face-off dot. Something tells me you're going to see a lot of that here tonight. Orangeville wearing black, white numbers going right to left away from Connor O'Toole here in period number 1. Over the top, Joey Spallina on the run. Nate Whittam, nice catch there on the left pad.
Yeah, good start there for Whittam. Orangeville outshot Mimico in game 3. That's probably Whittam's best game, arguably, of the playoffs for sure of this series. So another good start for him as Mimico takes their first possession. They got Deer stuck here. We'll see if they can exploit having an offensive guy back there.
Moran Weeks sending it up top. No shot there for the captain, Finn Thompson, who came alive in game number 3 with 4 goals. Waters was about to shoot, but a moving screen on the far side with Justin Lee took the ball away.
Interesting, Dante Bowen shading towards Finn Thompson on that first possession there. So, after the 4 goals by Thompson, maybe a thought to have number 3 playing more on the righties. We'll see if that stacks up or just the first possession.
Brian Jackman's first shot bounced high. Down to 10. Here's Dylan Sanderson returning to the series. Was a late scratch in game number 3, but back in there for good. A long-range shot does not beat the shot clock.
Yeah, a little different style, right? I think when Onofrio's in there, a little bit more of a picker, a little bit more of an off-ball guy, and Sanderson can certainly do that, but a little bit quicker, gives him a little bit more juice on the ball there. So a little bit of a different look for Orangeville.
Graydon Stokes and Cohen Jennings out for the Northmen today to get Jake Spallina and Sanderson back in. No changes from game number 3 for the Mimico Mountaineers, who lose this ball, picked up by Cole Teeple, who's going to walk in, and Edwards and Tavares have found each other again. Colm Barnett coming in to continue the conversation, and Tavares goes down, and we'll get the penalty here. The first one, a high stick against Orangeville.
Yeah, this is going to go against Colm Barnett. Interesting look there, by the way, Maddie. Mimico never subbed on that possession. They had 5 D guys up on offense, so when Orangeville got the break, everyone could go back. Boy, I'm not sure they got the right guy there. I think Edwards had the high stick.
If indeed it was at the end of the play there, yeah.
Vincent could have had probably an interference too, but Barnett will go first look for this Mimico power play, which has been much better after that game 1 disappointment.
I was just about to say the same thing. That's what I talked to Jeff Ivey about, was the power play. As they walk in here, it's bouncing in between the legs of O'Toole, and he will drop down and sit on it.
Good save there. We could pretty much see what that looked like from O'Toole's perspective. We couldn't see that ball. I don't think Finn Thompson could even see the net. Just reaching around his guy to try to gain some angle. Nice save by O'Toole. That's all positioning on that one.
Stood right behind the net in warm-up just to kind of watch O'Toole go through his motions.
Sure.
Very quiet, not a lot of even steps, but kind of stays back on the line and square up to pretty much every shot. He's been fantastic in this series.
It's the first real adversity in these playoffs for Orangeville, right? Obviously, their first loss. If you look back through history, very few teams go through a full playoff undefeated. So it's not uncommon at all for champions to give up a game or two. We'll see how they bounce back.
Mimico using the behind the crease X position, and Moran Weeks may have intercepted the pass intended for Roussel, stepped in the crease in the process.
Yeah, I love how that look has evolved for them. They used to throw it inside to Moran Weeks most of the time. Now it comes out to Dudemain and then over the top for more action on the backside. That's how good plays work. If you take one thing away, you keep it rolling. Nice save by O'Toole.
Into the back half of the Mimico power play, the first one for either side here in this game. Owen Ron sending it out towards the boards for Horseman. His quick shot finds the stick of Whittam. He'll give to Jordan Vincent, to his Syracuse captain, teammate Finn Thompson.
Definitely a more settled environment here, I think. Less scrambly play. I think there's two things. One, you're just more experienced. You've played a few of these games at this point, and also fatigue. These guys have played a ton of lacrosse this summer.
From up top, the shot from Lee off the crossbar, and same lineup most of the way through the playoffs. So where Orangeville have been subbing guys in and out, Mimico's basically been playing the same 18 the whole way.
Certainly up front, especially. If there's new guys that come in, they've typically been coming in on the back door.
First chance off the end boards. Quick second opportunity, and then Thompson ran through the crease.
Boy, Campak 55 in black is looking for a piece of anyone he can find after every single loose ball possession here. Might be a more settled pace, but the physicality has been there from the jump.
To the outside for Liam Matthews. Did not play here in this building. Game number 2. Returned for game 3. Gives back to his offensive partner, Spalina. Those two have been deadly all season long. Bouncer from the outside. Spalina's going to try and save the possession and just sails it up into the screening.
Threw it up into the mesh there. It's a penalty in the wintertime. Still all good in the OJLL.
Drummond Street Bowl is packed tonight. Not as loud, not as boisterous as it was. And as I say that, they get going.
Yeah, I think just give it some time. Give it some time. We'll get there.
Long outside shot. That one from Waters hits off the end boards and goes over and back. Did notice it seemed like a lot of Orangeville fans coming into the building as I came into the parking lot today.
Yeah, I got here 35 minutes before the game, and the parking lot was completely full. So that's the first time I've ever parked across the street, I think, in this building. That kind of just tells you the anticipation, and folks were taking our advice, man, to get in here early.
Look out here. Mimico in transition. Hobbs got there first. Stopping the over and back was out with Tavares, but couldn't find him, so they'll settle down with Angus McDonnell. No room for him to go to the crease. McDonnell spins back, cutting back towards the crease, taking a number of bumps, hauled down, shot still on target, and Poirier picked up him and McDonnell, a big collision.
Boy, what an effort by McDonnell to even get through there. Good defense by Poirier. As Jackman gets a good look. Poirier trying to stay in the lineup. Was in out game 1, in game 2, back out game 3. So trying to do what he can to stay on the floor here. As look for Dylan Sanderson maybe to be stuck here. He had numbers for Mimico here. Yeah, Vincent doesn't realize it.
Those two will head off, as does Sanderson. Lucas Dudemain could be the story for Mimico in this final series already with 10 goals, including the game winner last game. That shot from the outside hits off an Orangeville foot. Not enough for over and back, and the shot clock was winding down anyways.
Boy, it was close to delay of game there as well. You know, the only thing we were missing, Matty, from that Dudemain goal is that the Titanic soundtrack over it there as he was going into the gate there.
Here's Matthews with a man all over him to the crease. The dunk shot chance, and Matthews was laying in the crease. So even if it had gone in, I'm not sure it would have mattered.
Yeah, Owen Ron's been watching the Trey Deer film, I think. Going for that one-hander.
There have been a lot of people that have watched that Trey Deer film. That's for sure. 7 minutes gone nearly in this first period. Another over and back against Mimico, and still waiting for our first goal.
Yeah, turnover there by Mimico, and Orangeville's done a really good job with that press throughout the playoffs. That's the first real turnover we've seen from it tonight. Mimico, a smaller barn, you can really get pressed quickly, right? You get over the midline, and all of a sudden you're into the board. So good job by Orangeville there, earning extra possessions.
Jackman from the outside. He'll put it up top. Bowen Ron, his bounce shot wide of the mark. Got right back into the stick of Well, I thought it was Spalina, but here's McDonnell at center. That will corral it.
Yeah, another good set there by Whittam for Mimico. Hidden. Oh, they had me on the hidden ball trick. O'Toole had it right.
Justin Lee, far side. It works its way back to Dudemain. No room for him to shoot in and out of his stick as Spalina provided the contact. Now Costigan going to run it away from trouble.
Yeah, speaking of guys who are getting back into the lineup, Jake Spalina, didn't see him in Game 3, back in for Game 4. Really good set there. Playing just really good, tough defense on Dudemain, something that's been relatively hard to come by throughout the first couple of games as Matthews gets another good look. Pace starting to pick up a little bit here.
And every time Whittam picks it up, you can see him looking down floor. Into the stick of Kyle Kerrigan this time.
Yeah, and if you've been watching our broadcast, Game 2, he's capable. He can put it on the money, and the Mimico guys know that. So they're going to fly every time.
Alex Roussel from the outside gets it over to Dudemain, has a lane. That shot bounces wide and into the screen. Cameron Pack takes Roussel down, some oohs and ahs. Roussel wanted a call, not going to get one from that's John Vandergiesen, joined by Kyle Krotman and Andrew Ecclestone, a veteran officiating crew here tonight. From the outside, Sanderson. That one does find Whittam, but bounces out and away from the crease. Look out here. In comes Bryden Pitt. Bounced it just behind O'Toole.
Boy, that thing got awful close to the goal line. It for sure did not go in, but it beat O'Toole 100%.
Heads up Bowen as Tavares came and met him at center floor. Trey Deer chasing this ball into the corner. Mimico's got it.
Watch the double team come with Bowen. There it is.
That possession might have got the fans into the game. Tavares misplayed it. Back for Pitt. Bowen trying to get revenge for that big hit he took. Now Edwards will posture up against Lee.
Short shot clock here. Got to go here.
Thompson motioning into the middle. The captain took it himself and just off to the left of O'Toole. Bowen with the clean catch, though. Edwards down floor. His bouncer off the foot of Whittam. Out towards the corner. Moran Weeks down floor by himself. Mimico can't find him because Cole Teeple did.
Here comes the press again.
To Dudemain. Up top, facing almost 4 Northmen.
Got to pass your way out of those presses. There's not enough space to run your way through it.
That's what Mimico did, getting it to Roussel. Last one off the bench. Here is Finn. Thompson circles the crease. Costigan on him, spins back, shot, and O'Toole. That's a good stop.
Good job by Costigan. Again, for all the fancy stuff with Finn, he's bigger and stronger, I think, than people realize. So it goes to work on Costigan there, almost like at the island, like you'd see in field lacrosse. Costigan does a good enough job, and O'Toole's there to step out and cut down the angle.
Aiden Long also missed game number 2 in this building. He starts this attack. That had Sanderson cutting through the middle. Ball drops back down. Down goes the ball carrier. Looking for Spalina from his backside. It goes up and over the glass.
Yeah, we're through the first half of this period here with no goals and what, 2-3 really grade A chances here. So the defenses have come out to play thus far.
Outside Lee. Looking to the near side. McDonnell knocked out of his stick. It's Spalina again. This time Jake had Bowen with him. But Lee running down, and that's a good hit in behind. McDonnell taking and knocking Spalina down to the floor.
Boy, what a play by McDonnell, just hunting him down there. I thought Spalina was off to the races. As Dudemain hunts a shot there.
Bowen was hanging out by center again. If he had got that ball, we've seen what he can do in transition.
Ron and Sanderson here on the right side, so no Spalina on this shift. We'll see who can go to work here. Sanderson likes these cutback moves to get underneath typically.
Tries one there, looking to feed Ron. He had run out of space, so his little shovel shot back towards the net doesn't go. Jackman winds up from the outside. Got it on target, but saved. Now Matthews sending it back towards the crease. Doesn't roll far enough for Jackman. He comes up with a big check, and Mimico's got the ball.
What a possession there for Orangeville. 3-4 good looks. Mimico is going to get a change of most of their guys here, so some fresh legs coming on the floor. But these resets so important, Maddie. Even if it doesn't pay off this shift, they'll pay off tonight, particularly in playoffs with tired defenders.
Big pile up down in the crease of Mimico. Arm is high, and a holding call, I believe, coming to the Mountaineers.
Yeah, I'm not sure if this is one of the defenders that got their change in or not, but this is a good example. You earn the extra resets, tie your defense, all of a sudden you get a holding penalty. That's probably a decent penalty for Mountaineers because Bowie Horsman's probably going to score that if he doesn't haul him down. But nonetheless, good two-man action, good feed inside by Spalina. Now we'll see this Orangeville power play for the first time. Going back to this strong left look. This is how they like to start, and then throughout the game, they'll usually switch it up and show some different looks.
All the way around the horn, the first 5 touch it in the first 6 seconds.
Spalina wants to be a shooter here.
Of the power play. He's got it.
Yeah, you can see Vincent just trying to make it anybody but Spalina.
Deere back up top to Matthews. His shot partially blocked. And it bounces down, and the Mountaineers pick it up. Whittam had Vincent down the near boards. He'll wait for Thompson to come off the bench instead.
Boy, I tell you, Syracuse fans should be awfully excited about Finn and Deere and Spalina and all those guys, but Jordan Vincent's a player too. He's been really impactful in this series, I think, Maddie, and just great on-ball pressure. Loves to get out and play the ball. A really outstanding possession by him on that last one.
Lucas Dudemain outside, spins and fires. O'Toole will hang on to that at the tail end of the shot clock.
So 1 minute left in the power play here. Exactly 1 minute.
It seems like for the Northmen, if they don't score in the first 6 seconds of their possession, it's not going to happen on the power play, but they set up again for the second time. Spalina in the corner, feeds it through, Deere cutting through, and Whittam stands his ground.
And you got to watch for Vincent. He'll go in these situations sometimes. I think Wisely pulls it out there. Whittam has been solid here. I think the better chances probably belong to Orangeville. If you're going to look back through the first period, Whittam's been up to the task so far. Good sign for Mimico.
Under 10 of the shot clock for Dudemain. Feeding it through over the shoulder there from Thompson. He came down in the stick of Poirier, and he's going to cross center with only a handful of seconds left here in the power play.
Yeah, Orangeville's got a decision. They either got to wait or they got to shoot right now. Looks like they're going to wait. So back to 5-on-5 as McDonnell comes out of the box.
Matthews to Horsman, briefly in the corner with Spalina. Horsman gets it back, his twist shot not on target. It goes up into the screening, and Mimico will quickly run into it.
Good set there by Mimico. Sometimes those can get hairy defensively when you go from 5-on-4 to 5-on-5. The in-between, going from the zone back to man can be difficult. Good communication. They got out of it. Good kill.
Roussel outside. Leo set the screen. Does it open a shot? Yes, it does.
Alex Roussel continuing a really nice playoff run here. He does a lot of little things for Mimico and can step up with the big things too. This is just a great pick by Lee. He eliminates Ciapera there, puts Barnett in a tough situation. He has to shade towards Lee, and then Roussel puts it in the top left corner. Again, as the picker in a two-man game, your job is to get two guys to play you. That's what Lee does. He eliminates Ciapera, and then he forces Barnett to play him. Roussel pumps it to the top left corner.
The icebreaker coming 14 and a half minutes into this first period. That is by far the longest drought to start any one of the three previous games. Thompson from the outside. Last time we were here, I think it was 2-2 after the first though. Moran Weeks in front. The twister in the back of the net.
Finn Thompson had one of these earlier, and I think it's a coaching point from Tanner Thompson, who is the king of the high-low slip. So Moran Weeks is going to throw down, he's going to fake like he's going to set the pick, and then just rip through his guy. Just pulls Spalina basically towards him. Dudeman puts it on the money. That's probably a set piece that they had designed. Tanner was the king of that, and now a Tanner coach team doing it really well.
And Dudeman, the Selly game on point, even when it's not his goal. And this is the issue when you play the Mountaineers. Do not let them start rolling downhill because it's a hard truck to stop.
Especially in this building, right? We saw Peterborough, have a really difficult time in this building. Game 2 was a really good game that Orangeville came out with. So it's been an interesting playoff.
Angus in through the middle. That hit something and deflected up high off a Mimico player, they say. It's going to be Aiden Long and the Northmen with the ball.
Yeah, good shit by Edwards there. That's a big stop, right? We were talking about the momentum. You can kind of feel it. Orangeville needed a stop there. They get a good check here as Long now has a good look.
Big collision as he came through the crease. Tied up with Aaron Taguri, who gave him a little bit of a chop after he got too close to that dark blue paint. McDonnell back to Roussel. No room for him to cut back through. Costigan will knock him down and give to Dudemain. Big high step from Waters and it's in.
And we're going to get a water break here now. As again, Mimico starting to put together a run here. It's been really hard to come by against Orangeville. Roussel does a good job just to get out of his stick. And then Dudemain and Waters have a lot of the same strengths. And a good look, actually right there, Dudemain takes 2 guys. As the picker, you want to try to get 2 guys to play you.
So Mark Waters triggers our first water break and makes it 3-0. First real time in the series we're seeing Mimico get really good momentum here. Could kind of say that for either side. Maybe that one burst in game number 1 in the first period for Orangeville.
Big moment here. I say it every game, Matty, but these last few minutes before the period are so important. Big moment for both teams.
3.5 to go before we get there. Dudemain cross floor in the stick of Finn. Thompson in front. Dudemain's shot. Back to Moran Weeks, who's done it again.
Again, momentum's a fickle thing, Matty. When you have it, everything's going your way, and when you don't, everything's going the opposite way. Dudemain's going to slip Teeple right here. Just savvy off-ball play, shoot it, and Moran Weeks is always crashing the offensive glass. And I think we're going to see Lyndon Hill for the first time in this series. I don't think any of those goals were O'Toole's fault. No. I don't think Rusty Kruger is even signaling that. It's just an opportunity as we might just be having a water break again. O'Toole seems like he's staying on the floor here, so we might have jumped the gun there.
I'm surprised the officials are actually letting him do it. Not as hot in here as it has been. We checked about 25 degrees down here in the corner before game time, 23 on the bench. Compared to the near 30 we had the other night.
Oh, yeah.
Adam Power actually told me it's freezing in here. I don't know what's wrong with that guy, but not quite in that territory yet, but cooler than it has been in the series for sure.
Bad luck for Mimico there. Roussel's going to get the penalty. 6-on-5. 6-on-5 now for Orangeville. Great opportunity for the Northmen to get back in this game.
They'll start it with Trey Deer.
They got to get one more guy out there.
Scored twice on a delayed penalty back in game number 3.
Yep.
Horseman up top to Jackman.
Yeah, Horseman's
now
open.
Here to Matthews. He goes back up to the former Brampton captain. He had to wait for Tavares to clear out of the way, and Whittam still manages to make the catch. A lot of attention being paid to Horseman here after the shot.
Yeah, hey, Angus McDonnell and Trey Deer, they don't have to be told to find each other after every whistle. Those guys have spent more time with their hands on each other's cages than anyone else in the series. I think Roussel was just reaching to try to kick that ball.
Yeah.
Not great in slow motion. You don't want to see that kicking motion. I don't think it was a dirty play at all, but certainly a tripping penalty. And a massive, massive opportunity for Orangeville to get themselves back in this thing.
And just after the stick was knocked out of his hands as well.
Right.
So, I mean, there's
he's going for the ball,
going
I think.
on there. Yeah. I'm with you. It does give the Northmen their second power play of the game, however. Quarterbacked by Matthews down to Deer, who took a step in through the middle, and that shot out towards the corner.
Anytime Deere gets in the middle, they're trying to find him. They're trying to set slip seals for Deere and trying to find him.
And he does find his way on that.
Matthews is really good at finding Deere as well.
Tip of the crease quite often, as back-to-back shots now from Spalina reset the clock. Picks it up again, and it's Horseman walking through to score.
If you give them an opportunity, they're going to take it. Power play's been pretty good all series long here. Here's a look at the nice save by Whittam, and then Horseman's going to end up scoring at the end of this thing. McDonnell thinking pass, trying to take away the pass, and Horseman just jams it there. Again, Bowie a little bit quiet by his standards in the first two series. I think part of that was just how unbelievably on fire Spalina was, but he's been really, really good here in the OJLL finals.
That's why you go make trades.
Yeah,
at
absolutely.
the deadline.
Absolutely.
One that got in about 25 minutes before the horn. Shook up the OJ playoffs. I believe looks like Cameron Pack down there on offense. He spins and fires just wide at the tail end of the clock.
And by the way, the winner of these two teams is going to go to the Minto Cup. Well, Coquitlam, who's their leading scorer, is Cody Molosky, trade deadline. Port Coquitlam, who's their leading scorer, Silas Richmond, a trade deadline acquisition. So these moves at the deadline have huge impacts here and all over the country.
Over the top, Thompson to Dudemain. He'll flip it back here to Waters. Mark Waters on the run, lost his defender.
What a save.
Rebound will bounce right back over top of the official to Dudemain.
Mimico's got a minute left in the period. They're going to want to shoot this thing around 45 seconds to try to get a 2-for-1.
Dudemain, or just put it in the back.
Yeah.
Why not?
Shut up, Donnie, they said. I think the story on this one is the reach again from Lee. So Lee's going to come over, try to set one for Dudemain. That worked in the leading game. And then he's going to catch it and just stick out his stick as far as he can. And it just comes from a funky angle because his arms are so long, and he actually reaches that one back to the short side, which is a tricky space to go. And that's a big goal, and now a massive face-off here as Spalina gets it. He should shoot it.
Got blown up just as he was trying to do that. And the ball's still down. It rolls into the stick of Mimico with 44 left.
Yeah, now Mimico's going to have to use this. No chance anymore for the 2-for-1. I said Spalina should shoot it because it's the right time for the 2-for-1. A great play by the Mimico defender. Didn't catch the number there, but getting back and eliminating that opportunity.
Pass intended for Dudemain, bounces away. By the way, number 24, no goals through this run, but 4 assists on the 4 goals, as timeout will be called by Orangeville with 19 and a half to go in the first.
Yep, good check there by Elijah Edwards, who has had a really strong game. He's a guy that plays every night for Orangeville. We don't say his name a ton for defenders, Matty. That's not always the worst thing, right? He's doing his job most of the night, and a good play there to earn the extra last 6-on-5 here for Orangeville.
Guy you've been pretty high on all season long, Isaiah Moran Weeks, is a graduating player on this team. 2 goals in that last little burst.
Yeah, so this first one is going to be the slip pick, and just watch him pull Spalina towards him, and whoop, he's gone. Chris Berman would be proud there. Whoop.
I'm proud. I was going to ask you to do it again. You did it for me. Here's goal number 2.
And then this is how his goals normally look. Just a rebound, crashing the glass. Orangeville gets caught ball watching for just a second. The margins are so small at this level.
What was that first goal?
Whoop!
There, okay, thank you. Timeout for Orangeville. They put 19 and a half on the clock. Extra attacker is on with O'Toole on the bench.
They keep giving us the mic, Matty. I'm not sure why sometimes.
4 lefties on this set.
Watch something going down for Matthews coming all the way over. That's what it is. Triple pick for Matthews. He's open.
He was down in the corner, has it now. Gets dropped from behind from Vincent, then chopped on the floor. No call as Matthews is still down. Meanwhile, the horn is sounded, And there's going to be a conversation about that in the corner with Justin Tavares.
What a play by Jordan Vincent on this one. So you mentioned it, 4 lefties. So they're going to set, as I'll let this extended conversation goes. They're asking, how was your weekend, long weekend? What'd you guys get up to?
What'd you do on the day off?
Yeah, exactly. That's a nice helmet. Can I touch it? So triple pick, so everyone's getting picked, and then watch Vincent just get through the long pick and blow it up for Matthews. And then they actually end up getting a pretty good look at the end of this thing. It gets inside to Jackman, who I think hits the post. As we're still getting,
They're still
getting
talking
sorted
about
out
it
here.
down in
Yeah.
the corner. There's been an extra whistle. And we'll have to wait and find out if there's any penalties as a result of this little discussion. Really the first of its kind that we saw through that first period, which was a big one for the Mimico Mountaineers. 5-1 they lead after 20.
Probably not what many folks were expecting, to have that lopsided of a first period. Obviously the Mountaineers will take it. If you think this game's over, you haven't been watching enough lacrosse this summer, right? A long way to go. This Orangeville team can get on the runs of their own. Should be a good Final 40.
We'll see what the second has in store in about 10 minutes' time. You're watching game number 4 of the Ontario Junior Lacrosse League Finals, fueled by Gatorade.
Get ready, Ottawa. Box lacrosse is returning to its Canadian roots and giving the nation's capital the team they deserve.
Gatorade. With electrolytes to help replenish what's lost in sweat, carbs to help fuel your working muscles, and fluids to help you hydrate. Scientifically formulated so you never stop competing.
Let's go, raise up one time, go get it, it's yours, let's shine, come on.
Rehydrate, replenish, refuel. Gatorade.
Back live in Mimico, where the Mountaineers have a 5-1 lead as a result of this, starting with Alex Roussel getting the icebreaker. Took a while, but once they did get goals on the board, they came hot and heavy.
Yeah, they got really on a roll there. So Roussel gets the first one on a beautiful shot. This is that Moran Weeks slip pick again. I will not do the sound effect
Whoop.
before our entire fan base punches their TV. But a good possession. And then watch on Dudemain on this one. He gets his man right here, and then Waters' guy. He takes two. Waters is open, pumps it to the bottom left corner. Waters, a pretty good cellier, just like number 24, Dudemain. And then this one was a good look by Dudemain. Moran Weeks picks up the rebound, stuffs it home. 4-0 at this point. We now go to the Orangeville side of the floor.
And 4 goals in 2 minutes and 7 seconds. Sorry, Donnie.
Yeah, no, and we understand the score sheet. Maybe not totally accurate on this one, but it is Bowie Horseman getting the goal there on the power play, just stuffing it home, and then a huge bounce back. And there's an unlucky penalty from Mimico, so a big bounce back to get this last one here as Lee just gets those big long arms out and reaches around.
5-1. Best period for Mimico, I think, in any game of any period, not just the first. Definitely their best start to a game.
Yeah, the only other one was that game 2 against Peterborough, and they came out quick. We weren't on the air for that one. But certainly the best I think we've had on the broadcast here.
And the first real big blow-up period against the Northmen in the playoffs as well came in until game number 3, their first loss in the playoffs. And we'll see what the bounce back is for Connor O'Toole and company.
Again, this is an outstanding Northman team. Nobody gets through to the Minto Cup without adversity, at least not. Only a very small number of teams can really do that. So, this is not unheard of. If you're Orangeville, it's actually probably good to get a little adversity. It means if you can get through it, you're that much more battle-tested when you get to the Minto. But a huge period here. If it extends, maybe you can start to look towards Game 5, but still, this is so big for Orangeville. If they can come back here and get the win, make it 3-1, going back to Tony Rose, just a totally different complexion of this series.
Speaking about Ontario people headed to the Minto, congratulations. Another big tournament, big game you're going to be calling.
Yeah, thank you. I'll be at the Minto Cup this year. Really a tremendous event. You called a couple. We called one together. I've been lucky, obviously, to play in a couple and broadcast one, and excited to be back as part of a really good broadcast team. As, I cannot wait to be accused of Ontario bias. Really looking forward to it.
I'm surprised they're letting you back in Coquitlam, but we'll leave that one right there.
I didn't play Coquitlam. I played in Langley, so this is my first time at the Palace on Poirier, as they like to call it, and looking forward to covering it, to hopefully showing more people what the Minto Cup is all about. It should be a good event.
Trey Deer from the outside. That shot, looked like it might have skipped off Whittam. They call for the over and back, and it hits up in the screen. Fantastic tournament. As you said, I've called 2 of them now. Fantastic, and I'm happy that you're headed out there, and the team that's been assembled is an absolute wagon in and of itself. So can't wait to watch and tune in.
A lot of room here for Dudemain. Going to go to work on Costigan.
Steps in front, it goes in, but they call it off in the crease.
Yeah, we've seen Bowen on Finn Thompson a lot more today, so that means a little bit more one-on-one opportunities. I think all of Orangeville's defenders are solid. Maybe the ability to defend one-on-one dodges, that's where Bowen is particularly excellent. So Dudemain goes to work, just steps in the crease.
He's been the key defender throughout this series as Jackman now closes in. Up top, Spalina was looking for Deer on the crease. He gets knocked down at the hands of Taguri, and big pile up now with Hobbs running over Horseman.
That's an example of just the battles that take place. That was a battle for a box out on a loose ball. Hobbs ended up going too hard, but credit to Deer for fighting hard enough to draw the penalty or draw the infraction. Now an extra possession for Orangeville.
Over the top, Spalina off the shoulder of Whittam, down in the corner. Taguri will chase Horseman down there. He's already picked it up. Takes a couple slashes and may have a lane to the net. Got to the crease and was met there by Whittam. And then Deer knocks down Taguri.
Great read there by Whittam. Unbelievable move coming out of the corner by Bowie. Whittam just reads it step for step and steps out as he steps across, cutting down the angle.
Out into the corner, here's Roussel. Outside, walking in Moran Weeks. One bounced off something and heads over to the far side. Pack coming over in a hurry. Takes care of Thompson with a tug of the jersey, and a backhander from Finn at the tail end of the shot clock will take Mimico back to the power play.
Yeah, this is almost like a hockey example. When you're a kid and you're getting hooked or grabbed, they tell you just keep moving your feet. Pack kind of gets his stick in there, and Finn just keeps running, kind of shows off the hold. As we're going to see the no goal up here by Dudemain. Again, they actually run Waters away from Costigan here so that they have more of a one-on-one opportunity, and then just goes with that this swim move, excuse me, and good look, just steps in the crease. They're leaving Roussel wide open here.
Still hardly anybody on his side of the floor. Roussel gets it now. He'll go back up top to Dudemain. Had 4 assists in that breakout run. Into the stick of Lee. Thompson way up top. His sidearm shot bounces wide, and that will go over and back.
Yeah, Roussel's a very good player and has already scored in this game on a really nice shot, so he's very capable. That's still pretty sound strategy from the Northmen, right? A huge percentage of the goals in the series have been scored by Dudemain and Finn Thompson, so you try to make somebody else beat you. Roussel's capable of it. That's kind of the ebb and flow of series lacrosse.
Ben McIsaac was all the way up top to take the shot away from Spalina, then comes back to take the lane away from Ron. Bouncing ball, Deere couldn't pick up cleanly. Vincent does.
Good loose ball by Vincent. I think the prevailing wisdom on those late shot clock loose balls, try to leave them on the ground. When Trey Deere's around, Maddie, pick it up. Right? Don't leave it on the ground because he'll make something happen. So
saw that in the last game where he...
Yeah, pick the ball up, get it going out. At least if you have it in your stick, you control it.
From the outside, Dudemain walked off top spot and right into O'Toole, who has a man down floor. It's Teeple. Bouncing ball, though, and Dudemain got back to take it away. And then Taguri too much on Teeple. 14-on-14 crime there. You give the ball back to the Northmen.
You know, I like my coaching points, Matty. A coach for the Boston Cannons, Mikey Thompson, had a great expression. When the ball is in your stick, you control it. When you put it into the air, somebody else controls it. So same idea for the ground. When the ball is on the ground, somebody else controls it. When it's in your stick, you control it.
Spalina controlling it now. Back to Jackman. His shot from outside. Cleanly stuffed there by McDonnell. And again, Taguri ties up Deere as he was on his way to the crease. Final couple seconds of the penalty. It's Cole Begley bringing it across center. And Mimico 0 for 2 on the man advantage here tonight. Try the outside rip, though, does Finn Thompson.
I think that was Edwards again on the stick. Sorry to cut you off there, but continuing to have a nice night there, 13. And a good penalty kill, by the way, for Orangeville.
And you called it. Edwards and Pack both coming out with a ton of mojo in the official warm-up, and then we're right next to their lineup for the anthem. You can just see the intensity as they were on this side of that line during the O Canada ceremonies.
That sounded like it got some of the post there. Another good look. Hard for us to tell exactly from our broadcast angle, but a good start nonetheless for Orangeville. They're going to look to play more offense here.
Horseman crashing in, fakes the shot. He'll give to Spalina, who's laid off the bench. Ducks, wants the shot, takes it as he was being hauled down. And now McDonnell looking for Vincent all the way down floor.
Boy, what a good take on that last one by Spalina, just bursting through. A little bit like Finn Thompson, for all the kind of glitz and the beautiful plays, it's physicality as Jackman's got his man on the seal.
Look out, Matthews comes through as Jackman came up and knocked 2 Mountaineers down at the same time.
I've been talking about this. Jackman is really good at this seal. Kyle Waters was, again, one of the best I've seen at this. You want to talk about making 2 guys play you? Well, Jackman just picks up his guy and pitchforks him into the other guy. He just completely eliminates. This is actually the best example of a picker eliminating two. So watch, Jackman gets underneath the Taguri, and he's just going to pitchfork him, drive him into his defender. And then Matthews is saying, I am so open right now, I can't believe my eyes. Slows his feet and mind down. That's the key when you're that wide open. Sometimes it's hard to kind of feel your way through it. Matthews scores for Orangeville, but all because of that great pick from Jackman.
Here's a look at the crowd here in Mimico tonight, standing room only, as you would expect. And it should be the same thing 2 nights from now, Thursday night, 8 p.m. at Tony Rose Arena. Be sure you're subscribed here to the YouTube channel. Should Mimico win tonight, that would also mean that we've got a Game 6, which will be back here on Saturday at 7. Entire schedule available by downloading the Ontario Junior Lacrosse League app. Here's Matthews to the outside. No room for him this time, although Deere and Long are going to try and set screens. Still, Matthews can't shoot. Now gets up top, and that went off the crossbar, straight back to Horseman, who then puts it in the pads of Whittam.
I was just thinking when Matthews shot that, could that goal maybe be bring him to life a little bit? Not that he's been bad by any means. I think he's been really good actually in this series. Did miss the game too. So, we're not talking about good or bad. We're talking about good or explosively good. And Matthews has that potential. Maybe that goal can really get him going. Fun battle here.
Yeah.
Thompson on Bowen.
Was just about to say one-on-one, Dante Bowen, Finn Thompson. And
look out here. Orangeville's going to have numbers.
Pass to the corner, bounced away. Northmen trying to capitalize.
What a save!
What a stop!
Oh.
Kicked out by Whittam. Then Vincent took Bowen hard into the boards, but Trey Deere comes down with the Lucy.
Wow. What a save by Whittam. As we're starting to get up and down here.
Matthews from the outside. No room to shoot. He'll play it on the boards to Sanderson. Dylan Sanderson back to Matthews. He wheels over the top, takes a rip off the post now. Rebound straight back to Jackman.
Good slide by McDonald there. Jackman's a lot to handle in the low alley.
McDonald nearly slipped as he switched off to go chase Trey Deere down to the crease.
Matthews, by the way, back-to-back pipes. Look for him to keep being aggressive.
Sanderson outside, ripped and stopped by Whittam. Crowd still buzzing about the kick save he made earlier.
Yeah, Mimico's got to play some more offense here. Good job by Begley slowing it down. We're going to see that. I mean, that is sick.
Moran Weeks up top. Big save at one end. What can Mimico do at the other? It's Waters!
You mentioned it, Matty. How many times have we seen that? It just seems to be the way of the lacrosse gods. When you get a steal of a save, especially when it goes up in transition, but even on the resulting possession, they just seem to go in so often. So we're going to see the save first here. Vincent does a good job of actually slow playing this. Teeple makes it look like he's going to shoot, throws the no-look pass, and then Whittam just sticks that stick out. Deere actually does try to bounce it, and Whittam leads with the stick. And then on the ensuing possession here, Waters just going to get over top of his guy. Good pick by Moran Weeks. Bottom left corner.
Moran Weeks started that play with the pass to give him now 4 points in the game, including a pair of goals. Tavares gets taken down.
As a reminder, all of the Mimico offensive players are fifth years. At least, all the ones at the top of the scoring.
From the outside, Justin Lee's shot.
Big loose ball here.
Off O'Toole. It will not get back to center. Angus McDonnell there to keep the play alive. They did get a change in to put Roussel on the floor. Lee, Moran Weeks, working it through to Waters, who's got a pair of goals here in the game. Excuse me, that's Dudemain who's a low shot. Got through to O'Toole.
Pretty much identical to other goals Dudemain's had in the series.
Edwards takes Dudemain hard into the end glass.
I don't know how Roussel stayed on his feet there. Bowen looked like he timed that up perfectly. And look out now, 2-on-1 going.
Grab the loose ball, Costigan to Spalina. Trey Deere coming out the front door and whistles.
Not sure what the call was there.
Yeah, me neither, but Mimico back the other way.
And it goes in. It had to have been a too many men call behind the play, but Orangeville gets a good opportunity. Ball goes the other way, and then Waters just cutting through the crease. Goes with the twister finish. And what a big back-to-back goals from Waters. He's done a lot of his scoring in this series, A in bunches and B in this building, and another good one tonight. I believe that's now a hat trick for him. So a good night going again for Mark Waters. And now we're going to see Lyndon Hill. First time we've seen him in the playoffs. We already gave our spiel on him before. He didn't even come in the game, but now we will see him. You've been talking about it, Maddie, all throughout the playoffs. Rusty Kruger has a ton of confidence.
He really does. Him and Zach Richards kind of went back and forth most of the season until the trade deadline when O'Toole came in and was immediately given the crease for good reason. And Lyndon Hill will come in, also a graduating player.
These are big. These moments after the goalies come in are big. You want to let them see a couple shots ideally. And if you're Mimico, you got to try to chase them as quickly as you can. Wow, what a great save.
I'd imagine this is only going to be temporary, but we said that before when we saw Whittam chased in game number 1.
Yeah, I think they'll let Hill run with this for a little bit. And to be clear, I don't think any of those goals were bad goals on O'Toole. As Matthews, I mentioned, he's feeling it now.
Over the top, his defender fell. He'll find Deere in the crease. And just cut back, stayed out before releasing the shot. Comes back to Matthews, but he's late in the clock. And it's going to die before Deere can pull out something magical. Looked like he gave a forearm to Ben McIsaac, who informs the official afterwards.
Yeah, he's taking a bunch too. So we've seen as Mimico throws the ball away there.
They were looking for Justin Lee in the corner.
I think a miscommunication there. I think they were throwing it to a guy who wasn't looking.
Mark Waters, a pair of goals in 47 seconds to put Mimico up 7-2 as we near the halfway mark of the second period. Here's Sanderson, big high step, turns back. He's going to wait it out and give to Ron, who scores.
This is exactly what I was talking about earlier with Sanderson, right? A little more juice with the ball, and he loves this move where he's going to take one step up floor and then bam, right there. He just kills guys on that move. Great feel by Ron to just go to the net after Sanderson makes the moves. But that's why Dylan Sanderson's in there. Just a rookie, but he's dynamic on the ball, and he's killed guys all year long on that, putting that right foot hard into the ground and cutting hard underneath.
So 7-3 as we now indeed do pass the halfway mark. Ron Matthews and Bowie Horseman, the 3 goal scorers. Matthews did score one recently in the period. Otherwise, it was a lengthy drought going back to the first.
Another good save by Hill there. He's done his job stepping into this game. Angus McIntyre, really bursty player. He can get up in a hurry. Good save by Hill there.
As we've been telling you throughout the final, a draft pick of the Dallas Stars of the NHL last year. Spalina here to Matthews. Over the top, his shot kicked away by Whittam.
Another good look for Matthews, though. It's only a matter of time. And look for Orangeville got Spalina stuck here. So can Mimico kind of pick him out and go after the offensive player? Guarding Justin Lee right now, and that's exactly where they're going to go with it.
Roussel coming over to help out. Ball will go over to the far side. It's Waters on the run. Might have had eyes for that top corner, but sailed high and wide as loose ball will be picked up. Roussel, no time for a shot.
Mimico's got to be careful. They have a lot of success leaving guys on late in possessions, getting loose balls, getting rebounds. You know, it sounds crazy in the second period, but you got to turn the risk level down on that stuff and really prioritize defensive transition.
Aiden Long outside. He'll find Sanderson. One-on-one with Tavares. And Ron got filled in. Looking for that same just little over-the-top feed that they scored on.
Yeah, great really just good action all over there. Good feed in there by Sanderson. And really good defense by Begley and Tavares.
Lee down to Roussel now. Back over the top, Dudemain. Moran Weeks high stepping. He wants to take top spot. Does so, gives to Thompson, who shoots past his man.
Pointing, I think, to his brother, the offensive coach. This was actually a set piece earlier in the possession. Thompson cut through, looking for the ball, didn't get it. Late clock and just shooting through a screen, right? He's trying to reach his arms out, and man, our cameras, great shot by our camera guy, Gary, just catching that thing, going right to the bottom left corner. Again, not an easy shot to reach around your defender and hook it back into the bottom left corner. Does the job there.
I was looking for Tanner before the game. I wanted to know who was going to be the breakout guy tonight, as he was the one who pointed to Finn for game number 3.
Mark Waters, Moran Weeks, right? Kind of been the story so far.
Spalina on the run, kind of no-look that shot.
Look out.
Sailed over top of everybody. Justin Tavares in behind everyone.
Tavares likes to shoot these.
Has Aiden McDonnell with them and does take the shot, and will save it.
Yeah, he likes to kind of, if they don't have obvious numbers, he likes to kind of act like he's going to settle it out. But if it's at all unsettled, Tavares is usually going to go. It's been very, very successful.
One-on-one between Bryden Pitt and Sanderson.
Sanderson's got some juice now, too, by the way.
Eventually they even the numbers.
There's that same move.
Sanderson, nearly a full headlock on his way to the crease, and no doubt here, it's another penalty.
It's the exact same move, and for whatever reason, D guys have just so much trouble with it. We're gonna get it right here. Just lulls them to sleep, little hop step, bam. Whoop! And just goes right by his guy. Pitt has to foul him, and we're gonna see Orangeville go back to the power play. Other than Spalina shooting, another thing they've liked is Trey Deer kind of creeping into the middle, and Matthews has been really good at finding him with those behind-the-back passes. It's a very difficult pass because you're going right through the defender, basically. Deer's going to essentially try to just cut right behind his defender's back. Matthews has been really good at finding him. We'll see if they go to that again.
Over 2,000 live viewers here tonight. We thank each and every one of you, especially the Pembroke Resort having a watch party up in Emsdale, Ontario. Special hello to all of you folks. Shot from Matthews to open this power play off the glass and over and back.
So 6 minutes, 48 seconds in the period, minute 44 in the penalty. Mimico definitely got to turn the wrist down in these scenarios, right? Kill the clock. Don't give up anything crazy in terms of a breakaway, and let your penalty kill go to work again.
Thompson just going to...
Boy, just two 21-year-olds, by the way.
Slowly
right?
hang on to it.
Bowen and Thompson, two 21-year-old kids giving it their all. Guys are both warriors. Both been really good in this series, I think.
Looking to feed it back. Went up top to Dudemain. Loose ball, though, got away from Hill.
That was intentionally off the glass. We used to do that for a guy named Matthew Lee, who was excellent at taking it off the glass. And we'd rip it to the other side of the floor. Lee would come over and pick it up. That's what they did there. They tried to throw it off the end boards and rebound it for Thompson.
Horseman, Matthews, turns and shoots and scores.
Yeah, and you can tell when guys are feeling it. And Matthews has been all over it here in the second period. He scored the goal on the good pick by Jackman and then hit back-to-back pipes. And he likes this twister. Normally more of a three-quarter shooter, but he goes for this twister a lot on the shooter on the power play. Also worth noting on that, Bowie Horseman, strong righty power play that time. I mentioned how Rusty Kruger likes to mix it around. So a different look that time pays off for Orangeville. Sticking around, right?
Yeah.
Just sticking around.
Still a bit to go, but
lots of time left if you're a Northman fan.
You and I peeking at the clock together. Lead cut in half now, 8-4. And Sanderson to Matthews. to Trey Deer. Back up to Sanderson from the outside. He postures up and will send one at Whittam Corrals and
looks for McDonnell.
All the way down floor. Angus McDonnell had broke free.
Well, speaking of things the kids say, if you think Orangeville's going to go away, you don't know ball.
I have no idea what's going on. I do know this has been an incredible series already through 3 games, 3.5 now. I know the water's feeling hot in this period as that one bounces wide and up into the screening. Closing in on 5 minutes left to go in the period.
Got a sort out here for Ron coming off the bench.
Spalina taking it back to Matthews, though. Behind his back to Deer. Nifty little pass.
Boy, what a save from Whittam. And Matthews is officially feeling it. He's buzzing right now. Great feed in there. This two-man game's been very productive for them all year.
And that's bad news for the Mimico defense, if indeed that's true.
Yeah, and that's one of the reasons why it's been productive is because they can flip out and Deer can carry it and Matthews can set the pick. Whittam makes 2 good saves on Deer on that possession.
Lucas Billing gaining center for Mimico. He'll pass back to Dunamain. And Moran Weeks. Long way for Roussel now. Moran Weeks into the corner. He'll set the screen, trying to spring Dunamain. And they've switched up this game and put Costigan on him, who's been tremendous, especially on that shift.
Great set by Costigan there. I was thinking the exact same thing.
Spalina kind of trailing this play, went all the way over the top, down to meet the ball, and then around the world. Oh, wow.
That would have been something else. I think it's something that Costigan's having success with, Natty, on the big physical guys like Dunamain. It's unconventional, but you don't want to really put your hands on him that much because that's what they want. They want the physicality, so Costigan keeping his gap as Moran Weeks gets a good shot.
Give him a hat trick now and 5 points.
I got caught up talking about Costigan on Dunamain. Forgot to mention that Jackman's caught on defense. So this is an O player on an O player. Good patience by Moran Weeks. Just letting the cross check go by. Then bottom right corner, a sweet looking shot for a lefty, and then sweeps the ice. As Mimico has found ways to stop these runs, right? It's what you worry about is 4 in a row, 5 in a row, 4 out of 6 or something like that. And they've found a way to get big time goals when they need them. Again, lots of lacrosse left.
Finn Thompson at the draw there, going against Spalina and moved early, did the Mimico captain. So
yeah, we've seen Finn take faceoffs throughout the playoffs, so that's not crazy.
Matthews working through Spalina. On the run, the shot there from Horseman, and look out, Whittam. Eyes down floor into the stick of Angus McDonnell.
Boy, he had some room to that corner. We're basically in line with McDonnell when he shot that thing. That top right corner, he likes that on breakaways. As Deer's going to take a penalty behind the play. 6 on 5 now for Mimico.
I believe that was right at the end of our camera range. As the shot clock ticks down, extra attacker set. Up top, misplayed, and then a takedown on the top of the crease.
I think Dunamain heard the Titanic theme song playing there and just dropped it before he picked it up. Not sure if we're going to – this is going to be the breakaway. So good ball by McDonnell. McDonnell's going every time. Goes for the top right corner. Boy, hard to tell exactly. Seemed like he hit the post and crossbar maybe. So what does Mimico go to now? We've seen them really have a lot of success with that behind the net play. Can you run that again? Can you run some wrinkle off that? Good chess match going on now.
Well, let's remind the folks at home, the losing team in all 3 games have come away with just 9 goals.
Yeah.
Race to 10 here in the OJ Finals. And that is number 10.
And by our count, this is going to be 4 now for Moran Weeks. And you're absolutely right, Matt. It's been a race to 10 throughout this series and most of the playoffs. Didn't catch who was the feeder here, but I think it's Roussel. He's just going to look off to the middle and throw it to the back pipe. They run an X action, sometimes also called a scissor action, where you have one man sealing down, one man sealing up to create a lane. Orangeville does a good job of kind of bottling that up, so Moran Weeks just goes down the backside. Roussel puts it on the money.
In comes Costigan after controlling the face-off.
As a depth
here to Jackman.
As a depth scorer, you hear guys in basketball talk about this. I'll let Jackman go to work. Get it on the next shift up here.
Up to Ron through Spalina. His shot bounces off of Whittem right back to Ron, and he's going to touch the blue paint.
As a depth scorer, you have to be ready for your opportunities, right? If you're Moran Weeks, you're not going to score 4 every night, but if you have 5 good looks tonight, you got to cash them. It's just like being a shooter in basketball. You might not get your shots every night, but if you get 30 shots in one night, just keep shooting it. And Moran Weeks has been ready. He was their leading goal scorer, actually, coming into this series, and another big night for him tonight.
On the run, Dudemain, a sidearm shot back in front for Hill.
Boy.
Splits, I think, made the save. That shot might have been wide, but to your point, just one goal between Finn Thompson and Lucas Dudemain.
Yeah.
That's on the side of the captain, so
sure.
It's got to be somebody else if it's not
really
one of those
giving
two guys.
Orangeville a bit of a taste of their own medicine in that regard, right? That's what Orangeville has killed teams on throughout the playoffs is even if you can get to the top 2 or 3 guys, everyone else steps up.
One of those guys, Horseman, Liam Matthews, one away from a Hattie tonight. Not this time as the rebound bounces right back to Horseman.
Good loose ball by Horseman. Under a minute now. This is a good look for him.
Over the top, got a clean look, and Whittem will just crouch down and make sure.
Yeah,
the
nice
ball
save
went
by
no further.
Whittem. Mimico could maybe go 2 for 1 here, given the time score, just really the score. They'll probably hold it here. I think that's probably the wise decision.
Finn Thompson. Orangeville did take a timeout in that first period. As it's lead back for Moran Weeks. Bounced it off the defender and now takes one from the outside. Sounded like that might have hit.
Huge loose ball here because Mimico can take a timeout if they pick it up.
And indeed they do,
exactly,
and indeed it is timeout called.
Now another interesting scenario. We saw a very similar score to this the other night after 2 periods in Game 1, and Orangeville elected to leave their goalie in and play 5-on-5. So we'll see if Mimico wants to pull their goalie at all. Here's the Waters hat trick. First one to that bottom left. He's really had success finding that bottom left corner. That was the good pick by Dudemain that we already highlighted earlier in the broadcast. These goals, a lot of them are going to look the same here. So here Camp Pack is going to open for the pick. Really just a good pick by Moran Weeks. That's another shot to the bottom left. And the last one is going to be a heat check. Just flying off the bench, going to the dirty areas. You do the right things, you get rewarded. Not the most conventional shot, but catches it, turns his hands over, and shoots the twister.
Mimico with 10 on the board here through almost 2 periods. 7 off the stick of Mark Waters and Isaiah Moran Weeks. As you said, 2 graduating players. This entire offense now 21 years old. They'll come out with Roussel, Lee, and Thompson, the righties. Lefties, Dudemain, Waters, Isaiah Moran Weeks.
Elijah Edwards sitting in the middle. They're playing 5 on a dice. That means the advantages are at the top.
Thompson just going to wait it out. Under 7, here comes the play. Down in the corner, Roussel missed it. Thompson picks up and got it towards the net. And no time for Orangeville to do anything with it. They're going to need a big third to get back in this, trailing 10-4.
Yeah, not able to complete the pass there, so not much of an opportunity. Good stand by the Northmen. Another really good period for Mimico here. We'll see what the final 20 has in store.
Not quite over and out, but it is 10-4. Mountaineers lead after 2. We'll take the 10-minute timeout and be back here to Mimico. You're watching Game 4 of the Ontario Junior Lacrosse League Finals, fueled by Gatorade.
Get ready, Ottawa. Lacrosse is returning to its Canadian roots and giving the nation's capital the team they deserve.
Gatorade. With electrolytes to help replenish what's lost in sweat, carbs to help fuel your working muscles, and fluids to help you hydrate. Scientifically formulated so you never stop competing.
Yeah, let's go. Raise up one time, go get it. It's yours. Let's shine. Come on.
Rehydrate, replenish, refuel. Gatorade.
Back live in Mimico on the heels of an 8-goal period. Donnie's starting with this one from Liam Matthews, his first of 2 in that second period, and then it was the Mark Waters show.
Yeah, so this is going to be the save first here. Save on Deer and then going up to Waters. Again, good pick here by Moran Weeks. Eliminates Pack out of it. Waters pumps it to the bottom left. We've seen that one now. And then the next one up is going to be the twister from Waters. McDonnell pushing as he so often does. Finds Waters cutting through. That was really big. 49 seconds apart. Orangeville gets an answer on this Owen Ron goal on this sick move from Sanderson. Pops it over to Ron, who puts it in the back of the net for Orangeville. At that point, maybe a bit of an Orangeville run. You start to think Thompson does a good job of answering right back. Comes around the net, takes the pass from Moran Weeks. Watch how he reaches out, but puts it in the bottom left corner. And then the story of that period offensively for Orangeville, Liam Matthews really starting to go. Again, you mentioned this is the second of 2 goals. Thought he was really strong in that period. Probably wanted to be rewarded a few more times. Likes that twister from the shooter spot. Fools Whittam ever so slightly. And then Moran Weeks with his 3rd and 4th of the game, just a minute 10 seconds apart. Goes after the offensive player here. Sick shot to the bottom right corner. And then he's going to finish off the period with his 4th of the game. Good break. This is going to be the breakout pass to McDonnell. It goes off the crossbar, or just barely misses it. And then this is going to be the last one from Moran Weeks. Notice how they set a down pick and an up pick for him. It's too clogged to go through the middle, so he goes down the back. Good look by Roussel. And those ones are tough. You can kind of see Lyndon Hill hesitate there because he doesn't know if the ball is going inside or if it's going to the back pipe. Versus, for example, the 2-on-1 when Whittam saved Deer, there's only 2 guys. You know if it's you know who it's going to on the feed, so I think Hill hesitated just a little bit, thinking that the ball was going into the middle, and it goes to Moran Weeks on the backside.
A 5-3 period in favor of the Mimico Mountaineers, who led 5-1 after the first period. And the one thing we haven't talked about yet, not only does, if they lose here, they go back to Tony Rose under the gun. This is Mimico, of course. If they win here tonight, the series comes back to Mimico one more time.
Sure.
And that'll be Saturday.
Again, I think these game 4s at 2-1 is where the series separate from the good to the legendary, right?
Sure.
To get into that memorable, nostalgic status, you have to go to 6 or 7 games, and the game 4 when the score is 2-1 is just so massive. Even the tightest series can really flip based on that game 4 result here. So a massive one for Mimico. They say a series doesn't start until the road team wins. We started a long time ago, and it's just been pretty much chaos since then. So,
a road team did win in game number 2, a game that I think, if you are Mimico, thought that they should have won that game. At least coming out of the dressing room here, well, I was going to say Lyndon Hill came out with all the gear on and took the net, but now everybody making their way off to that Orangeville bench.
I think it looks like it's going to be still Hill again.
Definitely Nate Whittam down the other side. Yes, Hill just going off to grab a drink.
I mean,
just
Matty,
under our camera position.
We've been talking about the home floor advantage for these teams. Well, coming into tonight, the home team had lost more than they'd won. It was 2 road wins in the first 3. So, showing you, whatever you think of home floor advantage, this is an interesting anecdote. Obviously, Mimico is playing well here at home tonight. But yeah, it's been an outstanding series, and we expect it to continue here.
Will continue for sure. At least one more game Thursday night at 8 p.m. start time at Tony Rose Arena. As we've been saying all series and all season long, best way to enjoy it would be in person. Get to Orangeville if you can. If not, we got you covered.
And don't
8
expect
p.m.
these.
Start.
Sorry, I cut you off there, but don't expect these crowds to get smaller. Right?
No.
Get there early. Bring your fans if you can, and enjoy the action.
Share fan with a fan. Here's Justin Tavares up top. They'll work it through the corner. Tavares, he's the one that shoots, and it's caught by Lyndon Hill, taking up residence in the net to our right for this, the final regulation time period. Cole Teeple bouncer. Back through Horseman. They give to Spalina now on the run. Trey Deer He's got Matthews clearing space for him. All the way to the crease, a couple moves.
What a save.
Put him down, and another great stop from the Mimico netminder.
What a save. We have seen those go in so often for Trey Deer.
Going deep in the bag of tricks again. Ben McIsaac one-on-one with Matthews. McIsaac will pass back up top. Matthews going to get caught here. And he's on Waters as well, perhaps the hottest stick. Ben McIsaac couldn't pick up that loose ball. Costigan knocked him away. Now Nate Ruff will leave for Costigan as Orangeville head back down floor.
Nate Ruff stands up. Moran Weeks there on the breakout as well.
Ryan Jackman to the crease, had to stop his momentum, then didn't get as much on the shot that he thought. Picked up here by Mimico.
Nope. If you're Mimico, you got to. The message from the staff will be no penalties, no fast breaks against. Those are really the two things you got to avoid. If Orangeville is going to score, you got to make them score hard goals. And if you're the Northmen, how can you increase the pace, right? You're probably going to want to find at least one or two in transition. Can you leak out? Can you maybe start taking some chances, turn the risk up a little bit, and get some good looks in transition as Teeple is flying up the floor right now?
That Roussel shot hung on to. Teeple did get it, his underhand, bouncing wide, but it bounced right back to Trey Deer.
He can score from his offside there. We saw that at Tony Rose in the last series. He's got a nice-looking shot as 6-on-5 coming now.
Yeah, Hill making the jog, and a holding call coming up here to Mimico.
If you're a Mimico fan, the clock can't go fast enough here. If you're an Orangeville fan, seems like it's moving just fine.
Orangeville 2 for 3 on the power play coming into this here tonight. Those goals scored by Liam Matthews and Bowie Horseman.
Back to the strong right look that they scored on last time. Remember, it was Matthews on the twister last time. See what they go with here.
Horseman looked off Matthews a couple times. Mesh did ripple, but it was the ball coming off the end boards. Mimico goes back in. Fresh 30 coming to the Hornheads. Sanderson, Spalina. Fakes to Horseman. Spalina to Matthews. Looked like he wanted to go. He'll give to Spalina instead. Whittam made the stop. It won't go anywhere past the restraining line. That's where Horseman collects it. Horseman, Matthews. They're playing catch. No room for Matthews to run. Behind the back, Horseman. Spalina, his shot. Hung on to by Whittam. Mimico player goes down. Arm of the official goes high. Oof. And as it's touched up here by Hill, it's going to be a Mimico penalty.
I must have missed that one. I thought that was going to be against Orangeville.
Yeah, I think a lot of people did. Matthews to Sanderson. He gets run into the boards. And now too many men against Mimico. With 1 minute left in the initial penalty, this is the chance, I think, for Orangeville.
I'm glad that they didn't call that against Orangeville because the Mimico player just caught a toe pick. It looked like they were going to call a trip on that. I guess it's too many men. Bad bounce for the Mountaineers here. It's pick your poison time on the 4-on-3. You try to eliminate cross-floor passes. If you're Orangeville, you got to get a dunk. Anyone has a decent shot, you got to work for an excellent shot here.
Spalina back to the far side of the crease, and Whittam goes right to left for another big stop in this game.
I mean, that's just an unbelievable save by Whittam. That goes under the excellent look category. So Orangeville, they'll probably run it again here. They're going for a double up pick. So Mimico playing two men at the top of this 4-on-3. So both crease guys are going to come up and seal the high guys, leaves a 2-on-1 at the back. There it goes again.
Last time they left Bowen up as the safety valve for the 4-on-3 set, but Liam Matthews did join there for 5-on-3 with now only 12 seconds remaining.
Yeah, and Aaron Taguri just ices it. Not the worst idea. It's going to be tough to clear 3-on-5.
Matthews quickly down to the crease. Trey Deer waited. Guy out of the box. It's the first one and the most dangerous. Justin Tavares on Hill. Looked like the late.
No,
Yeah,
good
it's
call.
still under
Great
the pad.
call.
Wow.
Great call.
With Matthews coming in hard from behind. I mean, there's an oil slick that goes all the way from the top of the fan into the net here, but what a great recovery and what a stand from Linden Hill.
Boy, what a moment in this game, too. I for sure thought this went in, but you got to wait and see Hill stand up. As Orangeville gets a good look, Tavares out of the box. A little bit of a mental mistake there, letting them get behind him. Great hustle by Matthews, and then he's just going to pin it. Again, there you figure that it's in, and then watch him stand up, and the ball is sitting outside the net. You can see it right there, outside the crease. I mean,
Wow.
when they say it's a game of inches, that's what they mean.
I thought for sure when Matthews collided with him, like you said, that would have pushed everything over the line, but
Yeah.
that initial shot kind of looked like it got caught in the left pad, and then when he goes down to his knees, lets it sit for
Yeah.
John Vandergeest.
Hill, by the way, has been really solid in this game since coming in.
Yep.
Again, I don't think any of the shots on O'Toole are necessarily his fault. And by the way, a big smile on Linden Hill's face. I think that's the demeanor you kind of need to have as a backup goalie, right? You don't know when your number is going to get called. When you're in there, what an opportunity for a fifth-year guy playing in the Ontario Finals.
Well,
he's making the most of it.
He's been smiling all night long. Even unofficial warm-up.
Yeah.
Was doing his stretching right in front of us as we were
Sure.
getting ready. Gave the thumbs up, a big grin. Even knowing that he probably wasn't going to be in this game, and lo and behold, might end up playing the better half of it. Deer's going to chase the Mimico ball carrier back in over center.
Good press by Deere and Jackman.
Ball does bounce away. It was knocked over by
Big
the
loose
Northmen,
ball.
so even though we're on Mimico's shot clock, it won't be an over and back. Vincent went for the pick on his man, picks up the ball.
He's got to shoot it now, though.
First gets past Deere.
Shot clock's over.
And out of the corner, looking back for his man. I don't think he was awares.
Yeah, that was a long scrum, but long enough to get the man out of the box for Mimico. So they survive an extended 5-on-3. That's a huge win for the Double Blue.
Matthews shoots. It's off Whittam and down into the corner. And Begley will come down with the loose ball.
And Mimico, and Begley turns it over.
Straight to Matthews. I'm just about to say that Mimico would catch a break there and get this tired penalty kill unit out.
Yeah, they need to play some offense here. It feels like the ball's been down that end of the floor the whole period.
Off the shoulder of Whittam. Ball is going to bounce back.
Perhaps another reset coming up too. And what a nice play by Hill. Do you think about, if you're Dean George, do you think about taking a mid 6-on?
Oh,
Boy.
it looks like Hill lost the signal, but it worked because Mimico kind of stopped their defensive set.
Yeah, we were, for folks wondering why we paused, Linden Hill started running out of the goal as if it was a 6-on-5, and Horseman says, I got you. Just steps in, just too much room. The kid can hose it to the bottom right corner. I was going to say, if you're Dean George, do you think about a mid-period timeout here just to give everybody a breather? Try to cut the run. Typically, we always see them saved for last-minute scenarios, but might this be a circumstance to use it otherwise?
Well, think back to the end of game number 3. I mean, it was hot in Tony Rose Arena,
Yeah.
but that offense looked like they were absolutely gassed
Sure.
at the end, and Jeff Ivey kind of nodded. Wouldn't say yes they were, but his look let me know that I was onto something when I brought it up in our pregame chat. Trey Deere up for Horseman. And if that is the case, can the Northmen take over with a big run here in the third? Ball skips away from Bowen, and they were looking down floor. Tavares, it was in behind him.
Boy, they are pressing. Orangeville hasn't played a shift of defense in like 5 minutes here. Which, by the way, leaves their D guys fresh. So look for them to press when they get on the floor next.
Jackman on the run. Whittam will hang on.
You can see Dudeman running back for it, saying, give me the rock, let's play some O. A lot of space here for Waters. He can really get downhill.
Dudemain that leaves it for Waters. His shot off of Hill. One-handed pickup by Lee. And the possession continues for Mimico.
Yeah, Lee's so good at that. His arms are so long, you can just reach out and pluck it.
Exactly what the Mountaineers need here. Extended offensive time. Finn Thompson getting absolutely worked over by Pack. Gives it to Waters. He's tripped up. Still dumps it back to Dudemain. Out of his reach. Lee to Finn. In and out of his stick. It'll roll into the corner for Moran Weeks in the dying seconds of the shot clock. Shot can't originate from behind the goal line extended.
Yep.
So that's why the 30 does sound.
Yeah, great call. Again, we've explained that rule before, but if you're behind the goal line, the shot will count if it goes in, but it does not count as a shot clock reset.
Another stand for Lyndon Hill, who's playing his first action since July 27th in the St. Catharines series.
Yeah.
Came on in relief in what was a runaway game at that point.
He's been good. Hasn't been tested much here in the third, but that breakaway save was a big one to keep Orangeville in it.
Matthews from the outside. Whittam with the stop. Rebound, a roll out to the corner. Costigan in there to pick up and give to Matthews. Spalina now over the top. Costigan's going to head off as Owen Ron's shot bounces just wide.
Huge
Under
loose
10
ball
left.
here. Pick it up.
And
Too much time left. Pick it up.
Stand is on there between Nate McDonald and Liam Matthews, and the Mountaineers are just going to let the rest of the shot clock expire.
Yeah, but they got to clear it now. Double team getting set in here as Barnett's tracking. Good job by Moran Weeks to break it.
Got it across center. He'll play back to Roussel now. And again, this Mimico offense, despite not being out on the floor, really no substitutes at this point of what is a battered up playoff run. Bryden Pitt saw that one bounce off the boards.
Mimico's got to be careful. A lot of guys deep in the zone here. Got to turn the risk level way down on that stuff. And if Orangeville start taking some chances, get up the floor, don't be surprised to see guys like Aiden Long really start to leak out to the offensive side of the floor.
Horseman shoveling it down to Spalina. He'll stop up, still no shot. Took it with Whittam way out of the net. Rebound bounced to Sanderson. Couldn't capitalize, and we got whistles.
Good miscommunication by the officials
Yeah.
here. They'll get it sorted out.
Not sure.
When Whittam's at his best, Matty, he's stepping out on guys. Look how far out he is on Spalina. Spalina's got nowhere to go with that. Now, the obvious downside of that strategy is when there's a rebound, you got to get back to the net. He scrambles just well enough, and we're going to have Mimico ball coming up here.
Yeah, that one went up out of play. We saw on the back end of that replay, and none of the officials were really sure. Off blue, off black. And by the look we just saw, the correct call made.
Watch for Lee just sitting in the middle here. They can just throw this to him sometimes.
Moran Weeks keeps it up high, however. Going around the corner. Thompson barely recognized him without a shoulder pad hanging out. Up for Lucas Dudemain. Swim move on Poirier. Lane to the net, blocked off. Dudemain still with it with Moran Weeks in front. Lets one rip and just fired it off the arm of Hill with the shot clock.
Great possession there by Poirier as Tipo's got an opportunity here.
All the way down with Deer.
Nice save.
Gave it back to number 91, whose hard shot went off Whittam. All those straight to Dylan Sanderson.
As we're going to have 6-on-5 here. Lyndon Hill's coming out. Orangeville, Mimico doesn't see it. There's no delayed penalty.
Yeah,
just a sneak play.
For real this time, it goes to Spalina, who was the extra attacker. And Hill might have left early, but he'll get back without incident.
Sneak play.
Love it.
I love it too, yeah.
Past the halfway mark.
Why not? What do you have to lose, right? You're already down 5. What do you have to lose? Don't be surprised if that's not the last time.
Angus McDonnell. I think the sneak attack part might be
right. You're only going to get that once or twice.
But Waters at the tail end of the clock.
Awfully close.
Very close, like you said.
Awfully close to delay a game.
Dante Bowen up to Long and off the touch pass down into Costigan.
We're under 9 minutes here.
Jackman the screen. Matthews waiting. Still no room to shoot as defenders switch in front. Matthews takes it to the net and scores. Hat trick, Liam Matthews.
We got lots of time left. Now just a 4-goal game, 8.5 left. So Orangeville's got time, and even if they don't come back, a great sign to see 7 heating up if you're a Northmen fan. Again, this is what he likes to do all season long. He likes to get underneath on these toe drag moves. So he gets some separation here, and then that face dodge toe drag, and he gets Whittam. Whittam's been reading those cross creases really well today, so he decides to go back against the grain. A good finish for Matthews.
Crafty player. You could almost see the wheels turning, how he was going to make that play as he cut the corner.
And it's just explosive, right? He can get up to full speed in a hurry.
So the hat trick for Matthews, and don't look now, just a 4-goal game with just over 8 to play. And the Northmen have the ball again. Jackman from the outside. That shot into Whittam. He'll hang on to the rebound.
Got to pass your way out of this thing here.
And look out.
Yeah, it clears have been an adventure for Mimico in this period.
Was looking for McDonnell.
It's a tired defense now. They got most of a sub, but still these guys have played a lot of D. As Hill is keeping his eyes on the bench here.
Owen Ron for Trey Deer, who gets it through. By my count, his first point of tonight's game comes at the opportune time.
He's had a ton of good looks, and again, how often have we seen these goals scored against tired defenses, right? They earn the reset. Mimico can't connect the dots on the clear, and then Deer, a lot like the Finn Thompson goal, reaches around his defender and hooks it back. That's where he likes to do a lot of his damage, coming back to the short side. Got an ability to really snap his wrist at the end of his release. So 7:50 now, 3-goal game. Again, lots of time if you're the Northmen. You're seeing Joey Spallina playing on the offensive side of these face-offs too. So perhaps a more aggressive face-off strategy than we've seen as well.
Pretty aggressive take here by Angus McDonnell, running into the face-off, Lucy.
Yeah, Mimico just they need a possession. He's going to get
all
doubled
over
here.
him. And now Spallina coming to help out.
Yeah, that's the right idea by McDonnell. As Mimico's got 4 lefties on, so look for Lee's got to go to work here.
Here he is.
He's all
with the
alone.
ball.
He's got to go. There he goes.
Finally realized and stopped just short of the net by Long. He'll pass it back in the direction of Dudemain.
Mimico's got to get their guys off the floor here.
Hill looking back to center where Deer went for the loose ball. Tripped up Tavares. Surprised they're letting this one continue. Deer still comes down with it.
What a battle. That's over. Yeah, it should be over back.
And they call it over and back.
Yeah,
Ron disagrees.
I think that's the right call.
The fans think it's the right one.
Well, some of the fans do.
Seems to have woken up the Mimico faithful. Waters cross to Thompson. Rips and Hill down to make the stop. Ball taking a couple funny hops. Here comes Moran Weeks right in our face. Costigan in here as well. Thompson knocked out of the way by Poirier. And it's just going to be kicked
Good
back.
battle won by the Northmen. Huge battle.
That was Ron that kicked it into the stick of Costigan so he could clear center.
A lot of space here for Matthews. He's got the hot hand. Expect him to keep going.
Pair of goals in 43 seconds for the Northmen. Do they have another? It's Spallina over the top. Rips a little bouncer that goes into the corner.
Another huge loose ball here in the corner.
Shot clock did reset. It will now too as Mimico picks up.
And they're going to get a penalty now.
Fighting through the high stick and going all the way to the rack. That one
Oh,
bounced
boy.
in behind Hill.
Did everything
but then
except for go in.
Came back out.
Mimico's got to use this. It's a free 30 seconds off the clock now.
Moran Weeks to Waters, and it's an extra attacker set.
Yeah, they got to go as late as possible. The time is more valuable than the goal.
Up top, Thompson. Dudemain. Back for Thompson. He'll back away from top spot. Lee setting the screen. Can't quite return it to Dudomain, although it gets there on a bounce. Turns and fires at the tail end of the shot clock. And now the penalty will come.
Yeah, it's going to be Jackman right here. As Ryan Boyle likes to say, not a lot good happens when riding players get one hand on their stick. McDonnell probably sold it just a little bit, and Hill does just enough to keep it out. We had a great view. We had a great view. That definitely did not go in.
Yeah. Some discussion from some folks who had the same look we did, but
yep.
It is a power play here for Mimico, who you would think could put it away here. Thompson up top. 5 minutes to play. 3-goal lead, Dudomain. His shot sails over top of Hill.
Watch out, Teeple's leaking out the back.
And into the screen, you're right. Teeple down floor, and they can't get the ball to Long quick enough.
Bad luck with the soft mesh over there. Eating up the ball. Look for Long. He's a load in these situations.
Well, so's this guy.
Yeah.
Your scoring champion this season.
A lot of traffic there in front of the net. They can just buzz one. Yeah, Whittam can't see them. Good save.
Defender picked out of the way. A little extra pressure after the shot. Now Tavares will clear it up and over center. That took 50 seconds of power play time.
Deere is going to stay in play here. And you can pretty much guarantee that he's going to look for a breakaway.
So take it off, yeah.
Yeah, you got to find him.
Got to watch out for Bowen, who's high as well.
Yep.
Haven't seen it that much here in the final series, but
same play for the back pipe.
Definitely go.
What a save!
Oh my goodness! Lyndon Hill.
What a save! That's the exact same play that Moran Weeks already scored on. Roussel hits it again. Lyndon Hill doing his job here.
I don't know if Hill was ready for it or that's just a great reactionary stop. But either way, it stays out. And now they're under 40 seconds left in the power play. Big swim move, Matthews. Another one, still can't break free. Liam Matthews all by himself on the left side. Got the shot off with him, but the rebound goes to Mimico. Here's that stop in the bottom left of your corner.
Oh. That's ridiculous. Good shift there by Ben McIsaac, by the way. Just staying patient with Matthews. Like a receiver making double moves, patience is the key with 7. Mimico's got to be really careful here with the guy coming out of the box. And Roussel's going to go back wisely.
Thompson's shot, rebound, not far enough.
Smart play by Alex Roussel. They're getting back to find Jackman. Now he's going to be stuck, though. So number 3, Roussel and Mimico trying to get off now. And he will. Smart play overall.
Mimico 1 for 4 on the man advantage tonight. Up top is Jackman. Playing through Ron, down to Spalina. Shot clock at 5 as Spalina cuts back around the corner and filled in on the crease with Ron just as that shot arrived.
Very good possession defensively. But another hairy-looking clear here as Tavares is just going to put it on net. They got to have outlets. But credit Orangeville. That forecheck has really been a menace here tonight. And it's been good for them all playoffs. 2.5 minutes now.
Hill took a couple steps, not getting the wave this time. It's Horseman from the corner. Fans trying to will their Mountaineers to the finish line. Deere shot wide of the mark. This is going to bounce over and back. And that takes us down to 2 minutes and 16 seconds.
Wow, clever play there by Justin Tavares. Was about to catch it, realized no one was behind them, just let it run. They get a free basically dump and change here. As Mimico's got to be in full rag mode now.
Up top, Justin Lee. Bowen chases him back to the restraining line. Pass comes into the stick of Dudomain. That was Waters trying to find Lee again. He's taken down by Bowen. And then too far for Waters to pick up. Him and Ruff are tangling. Elijah Edwards comes in as well. Ruff is just going to leave it, as does Edwards. And right at the end, Lee looked like he took a shot that was not seen by the official, and timeout called by Rusty Kruger with 1:45 to go.
He took a low one. Lee took a low one there. It looks to be okay. Interesting timeout call there by Orangeville, right? You gotta drop as many plays as you can
I wonder if any of them are coming to number 7, who's been feeling it tonight.
Yeah, so this is that pick by Jackman, gets all the way across the crease. As we're going to take a look at his full hat trick here. So that's 1. Number 2 is going to be that twister on the power play. Look at the goalie Whittam, how he leans towards the short side, opening up that 5-hole. And then this is going to be the last one coming up here in the third period. He's going to get into his defender, shrug him off, and then go underneath. Says, get off me. I'm going to reset, make you lunge at me a little bit, and then go right by you.
So here comes the 6 attacker set with Sanderson, Horseman, Spalina. They're the righties. Lefties are Deere, Jackman, and it'll start with the man we just introduced you to, Liam Matthews. Looking for 3 goals in a minute 45. And if any team can do it, you would think it would be the Orangeville Northmen.
I don't know if they sold separate tickets for the third period only, Natty, but we've added we've added some friends. Some folks started the game on YouTube and decided they needed to be here.
Why not? Here's Spalina looking for the cutter, and that's off a body and the glass. Jordan Vincent has an empty net, looking at it and pots it.
Well, I called his name a lot in the first period. 55's been really, really good, I think, for Mimico. Just picks up the goal here, and then a good little bit of composure, too, to cut back. Those can get a little bit, those can get rushed sometimes, and then there's empty netter. But he cuts back on Horseman, who doesn't have much of a chance. Puts in the empty net, much to the delight of the significant Mimico crowd here.
Still a minute 26 to go, but you get the feeling that we may be tied here in this series.
Here comes Hill again. So, actually, he's going to stay in.
Yeah, Northmen are out of timeouts, too.
Now he's coming.
And now will come. Trying the element of surprise again, since it worked the first time, seeing if you can get that Mimico defense to settle. And they would not oblige on the shot there from Spalina.
Minute left. We've seen these last minutes of Junior A lacrosse games go a couple different ways, Matty. We'll leave it at that.
There's a few extra chops.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tavares a few extra on Matthews, and they're going to take the ball away.
One thing that helps mitigate.
Yeah, look out
stop
at
what I
center
just
floor.
was saying. I don't.
Sorry, mitigate what?
We might not be mitigating much here.
Ron, a big chop to Tavares. He's still got him by the collar. Yeah, Begley's got to be careful here, coming in a bit late.
Yeah.
Sorry, that's Kyle Kerrigan. 2 players with the same gloves. Angus McDonnell going to give a few parting words to Owen Ron, who's going to be the only guy to go off this exchange right here with Justin Tavares.
Not sure if they had something going on early in the game. As Ron certainly seems like he picked out Tavares.
It seems like Tavares has had something going on with a lot of different guys in this series. That looks like there will be another game here in this barn.
Yeah, and I think we're heading towards that legendary status of this series, right? Just what a good battle it's been. So I think we'll see the clock just run out here.
Mimico going to hang on to it up at center with Vincent.
Again, injuries and suspensions at this time of the game is what's going to hurt you.
The warm up the bus chant starting. And I didn't see it as Poirier going to run up towards Vincent. Poirier grabs a face mask and goes right after Taguri, who's not going to back down from anything. Poirier missed a bunch of playoffs to start with because he was serving a suspension.
Yep.
And he's going to
get an early
asked
exit.
to leave, yeah.
Yep.
perhaps trying to set a tone for game number 5. Are we at 5?
It wouldn't be the first time, wouldn't be the last time, Matty. So
that game coming up on Thursday night, an 8 p.m. start at Tony Rose.
Yep.
Game 6 looks like it's going to be back here. Sorry, Rachel, 7 o'clock on Saturday.
I think Aaron Taguri doing the wise thing there.
And you're right, Mimico backing down and not willing to entice anything. They got trying to sort out the clock.
Yeah.
And Kyle Crotman just saying we don't care. Andrew Ecclestone just going to count this game down, and there it is. A 12-7 final. The lowest offensive output by a losing team in this series tonight for the Orangeville Northmen.
The Mimico defense has really found some solutions here, and got to give credit to Nate Whittam, right? For all the great goals that we've been talking about. Whittam was the star tonight. A really good series so far. We said it was going to be best of 7, Matty. Now it's a best of 3.
Indeed it is, starting on Thursday night, 8 p.m. start time. Get to Tony Rose if you can, or go down south to the States, whatever.
Yeah, I'll be. I won't be there, unfortunately. I'll be at the NCBS National Championships in the States this week. That's the National Collegiate Box Series with some really good folks down there, but I will be back for Game 6, and it sure seems like we're headed for a 7 as well.
Wouldn't miss it. We got you covered if you can't be in the barn on Thursday, 8 p.m. start time. For my partner, Jonathan Donville, our director, Rachel Wolf, Gary Morrison of the JVI Sports Network, and Colleen Grimes of the Ontario Junior Lacrosse League, I'm Matthew Carrick saying thank you for tuning in tonight. We'll talk to you from Orangeville on Thursday.